Hey guys, welcome back to my review series on the Star Wars films. Today we're going to be reviewing episode 2. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Last week I did episode 1. It came out a little bit late, unfortunately. Hopefully this video doesn't come out a little bit late. It's supposed to come out at 4 o'clock. I don't know, could get delayed a few hours just because these reviews take a little bit of time to make. Whatever, let's get into it, guys. I'm going to try to give my full thoughts on this movie. The Van Minutes video, I kind of give my thoughts before I even dived into the review, kind of, at the beginning. Kind of showed my thoughts in the intro. That wasn't very good. I'm not going to spoil anything in this review in the intro. You don't know how I feel about the movie, but you could probably guess how I feel about the movie. So, whatever, let's get into this, guys. So at the beginning of the film, it starts off with an explosion, and one of Padme's handmaids unfortunately dies straight out of the gate. It was an assassination attempt on Padme by Palpatine, and so this is leading into my first topic of this review, which is Palpatine's plan, because it makes no sense in this movie. I mean, been thinking a lot about episode 9 recently and how Palpatine's plan doesn't make that much sense in that movie, but it also doesn't make much sense in episode 2. Well, it makes more sense, I guess, because Palpatine's plan in episode 9 is absolutely bonkers. But, okay, let's just go through it for a minute. So, Palps wants Padme dead, but Padme ends up becoming pretty vital in Anakin's turn to the dark side, of course, because the only reason Anakin turns to the dark side is because he wants to save Padme. But if Padme was assassinated, then Palpatine's plan would have probably gone to dust. But then again, he probably could have had a backup plan, or maybe the whole Padme thing was a backup plan, and just he ended up using the backup plan because he realized it was more effective. Maybe the actual plan was more like slow and stuff, but the secondary plan, the one he went with, was more sudden because of course Anakin's turn to the dark side was kind of rushed in episode 3, but we'll get to that. So maybe that's what he was going with, but it just doesn't really make any sense. Why do they have to do that? It never says that in the movie. So basically, Palpatine tries to execute someone who was pretty vital to his plan. It doesn't really make that much sense. This is basically what happens. Palpatine gets Dooku to get Jango, to get Zam Wesell, to get a droid, to get a slug, to kill Padme. So yeah, that's weird. Where they chase Zam Wesell and they eventually track her down, but then she gets shot with something by Jango Fett, and it kills her. Don't know why Jango didn't shoot her with a random bullet, like a random blast. Instead, he just shoots her with like a Kaminoan saber dart. But okay, whatever. Well, I guess he's probably actually no. He was meaning to bring Obi-Wan to Kamino, though. He probably wanted that because that was their goal. But okay, whatever. So yeah, whatever. So yeah, that happens. So instead of going back to kill Padme himself, he just goes out and kills Zam Wesell. And if he killed Padme, that would be great. Like, come on, that'd be mission successful. But whatever, that's fine. Just kill your own bloody assistant. So a thing a lot of people were wanting to see going into the prequels back all those years ago when the films originally came out, Obi-Wan and Anakin's dynamic. We know that they're good friends. From the New Hope perspective of Obi-Wan. He of course, and we know that Obi-Wan trained him. And of course Obi-Wan had more of a brotherly kind of relationship with Anakin. But I don't really like their relationship in episode 2. It just really doesn't feel right, they're always disagreeing with each other and all that, and I just feel like they hate each other, I mean, there's a little bit of a bonding bit at the beginning, but that's it. And also Obi-Wan has a really creepy laugh, and it wasn't really that great. But as soon as they get into the room with Padme and all that, Obi-Wan just gets a little annoyed at Anakin and all that, and they just seem like they hate each other. And then they split up for the whole middle section of the movie. That's so annoying. Okay. Also, Obi-Wan just gets angry at every single thing Anakin does. He gets angry at Anakin for jumping out of that speeder in this chase, even though he literally jumped out a window to grab that droid 2 minutes beforehand. Okay, that was so stupid. So if Obi-Wan had not done that, then he could have gotten angry at Anakin. But it was pretty hypocritical for him to get angry at Anakin when he just did something similar, literally just before. It's really annoying. I definitely rather episode 3 Obi-Wan. I mean, the dynamic in episode 3 is just a lot better. It's better. Okay, they do have a big fight on Geonosis when Anakin wants to jump and grab Padme, and I mean, That's just one of the main examples. I mean, they just don't feel like they get along. I mean, sure, they can't fight, and of course, they do have a big fight in episode 3, but that's because Anakin turned to the dark side. Beforehand, they actually acted like they liked each other, you know? I mean, they had like a bond and everything, but in this film, they just kind of hate each other. I mean, like, seriously, they could have had like a few bonding moments other than just the opening scene, but no. So, Jar Jar in the last film, I said that he was actually alright, and, he was, harmless, and his overreactions to things were like kind of funny. Unfortunately, we don't get any of those overreactions in this movie. Like, he isn't really put into anything big. Like, he isn't put into any grave danger or anything, which I think was actually like sort of Jar Jar's best moments when he was just put into grave danger and he's just really overreacted. And just I thought that was actually kind of funny. But here he just kind of sits around Coruscant all day, and he's not bad or anything. I'd rather him in episode 1. I know people rather him in episode 3 when he just appears at the funeral. Some people probably argue that he shouldn't have appeared at the funeral, but whatever. There was a lot of people there, okay? He didn't put on any grave danger, just kind of sits around Coruscant. But my favorite scene in this movie, my favorite Jar Jar scene of this movie is definitely when he gives Chancellor Palpatine emergency powers, because, not that the scene is, like, funny or anything, but, like, okay, like, seriously, this is, when you think about Jar Jar funny moments, probably, if you like Jar Jar, and you think of his funny moments, you're probably gonna think of episode 1, right? But seriously, this is kind of funny when you think about it. Okay, it's not that what Jar Jar really says or anything; it's just the meaning. He gave Chancellor Palpatine emergency powers, which eventually led to the Empire being formed and stuff, and then the Death Star being created in the Empire, and Vader kind of turning to the Anakin kind of turning to the dark side in a way. He changed the whole entire galaxy in this scene. Seriously, if this hasn't happened, like, seriously, Jar Jar kind of messed up, because I don't know if Padme would have done this. I think she was. I think she was in favor of a clone army, but I don't know if she would have given the Chancellor emergency powers. Though I think she was on board with him becoming Chancellor, but I don't know. 10 years has passed, so anything can change. So that's amazing. So yeah, as I said, Obi-Wan and Anakin split up for most of this film, so we're going to dive into these two plots right now. Obi-Wan's plot was definitely the better plot of these movies. Still kind of had a few issues, but whatever. So first of all, you try to search for a lost planet named Kamino, because that's where the dart came from, because when they chased down Zam Wesell, Jango Fett shot Zam Wesell, as I said before. So he tries to track down that dart, where it came from, and he came from Kamino, and he kind of goes for a bit of a search on Kamino, but it doesn't really last that long, if you know what I mean. He just kind of does it. We don't really want Obi-Wan searching for the planet for that long. I feel like the search could have gone on for a little bit longer, because, like, I'm pretty sure there's probably a lot more stuff that went on behind the scenes, right? Obi-Wan could have just gone and just found the planet like instantly. This is a lost planet. It didn't show up in any of the archives or anything. Whatever, he finds it. So Obi-Wan has traveled to Kamino, and he figures out that a whole clone army was scheduled to be made for the Republic. And this news, if I was Obi-Wan, I'd be pretty, like, freaked out. Like, oh my god, what, there's a whole clone army here? Like, what? But I want to take account. Imagine just knowing that a whole army was scheduled for the Republic. All of these clones, like, you didn't even know about them. That's pretty insane. The Obi-Wan kind of screws up here. Okay, so he knows that Jango Fett is bad because he has a big fight with Jango Fett. And he knows that, I guess he has relationship with Dooku, because he sees Jango Fett with Dooku, of course, with fighting with the droids later on in the film. Of course, so he knows that the clones were cloned off of Jango Fett. So shouldn't he be putting two and two together there and just automatically saying that, no, the clones are bad? No. Didn't he tell other Jedi about this as well? Shouldn't other Jedi put this together and all that? Because other Jedi must have done all the details. So, why didn't they just not do this at all? Okay. It causes a kind of a big trap, so the Jedi, eventually, they can die from Order 66 by the clones, so, they kind of screwed up there. Yeah, Temuera Morrison plays Jango Fett, and Obi-Wan and Django with a big fight later on. It's really cool. I mean, Obi-Wan takes a missile to the face and survives, but you know, it's all good. Oh, I don't want to talk about this. Okay, Anakin Padme's romance, whatever. It's bad. Bye. Okay, fine. They have one good scene together on the grass with the animals, and there was like a picnic. You know, it's actually kind of a cute scene, but everything else is terrible, man. Like, it's like kind of bad, but it's also just kind of funny how just terrible it is. Okay, let's quote some stuff from this movie that Anakin says. I hate sand. It's coarse, rough, and irritating, and it gets everywhere. I killed them all. Not just the men, but the women and children too. I wish that I could just wish away my feelings. I'm haunted by the kiss that you should have never given me. That's terrible, man. It's absolutely terrible. Like these lines, man. Seriously, when they're at the fire part, okay, like seriously, like I feel like I was gonna die. I felt like I was just gonna like fall on the ground and die. It was so painful to watch. Also, the sand scene, yeah, that wasn't very good either. Only one good scene, man. Also, when they go to Tatooine, it doesn't really get that much better. With their interactions, I guess. Well, Anakin goes to save his mother, and that is actually a cool scene. Unfortunately, we get to miss out on the Tusken Raider fight, I guess. We do get to see Shmi die. I mean, not a very honorable death, because she's it's kind of like a parody. Her like I la. That's basically her last line. That's so stupid. Of course, Anakin being really, really sad about this, you know. We get to meet the Larses though. Clegg Lars, I think it's the dad, Owen's dad. We get to meet Beru and everything. I mean, even though Beru doesn't live with them, she still makes their milk. I mean, I presume she doesn't live with them. Maybe she does. I don't know. But like, yeah, just have the woman do all the work. Am I right? Clegg and Owen. Yeah. I think it's Clegg Lars. Maybe it isn't Clegg Lars. I don't know. Clegg, 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 Clegg. You know when I say a word like so often, like it just becomes meaningless. Whatever. So Anakin and Padme still have a really horrible interaction after Anakin tells Padme that he killed all the Tusken Raiders. I know some people are probably like angry at Padme saying that like you know to be angry to be human when Anakin tells her that she killed all the Tusken Raiders. But like whatever, the Tusken Raiders are like filthy animals anyway. I mean, who wants them on Tatooine? I mean, they just kill people. Okay, Anakin was just getting revenge and whatever. You kill droids and stuff and Sith lords and people anyway. I mean, who really cares if you just kill a few Tusken Raiders? Okay. But I do like that Padme wants to go save Obi-Wan and Anakin just kind of feels obligated to go follow her. So technically it wasn't Anakin's decision to go save Obi-Wan. It was Padme's. So yeah, I kind of like how Padme's taking charge right there. She wants to go save Obi-Wan, and you know Anakin just goes along with her, you know. And for some reason C-3PO goes along with them, even though Owen and Clegg kind of have C-3PO back there. I mean, I don't even know if they were supposed to take him. They just took C-3PO and just got the hell out of there. It was so weird. I think they might have just stole the droid. Seriously. I mean, the droid actually... Like, seriously, C-3PO ends up back in Owen's hands. In episode 4, which is kind of weird. Maybe they shouldn't have had, like, it turn out that... Owen had owned him before, because that's just kind of weird. But whatever, it's crazy, man. Okay, the Battle of Geonosis. We have never seen this many Jedi on the screen at once. I think this is the most we've ever seen, most Jedi we've ever seen on screen at the one time. Like seriously, man, like so many Jedi come out here and whack these battle droids to hell. It's so weird. I don't know why 212 Jedi came to rescue one Jedi because they didn't even know that Anakin and Padme were there. Mace thought they were back on Tatooine. So he risked all those lives just to save one. Imagine if Obi-Wan died during that. He would have lost all of those lives for nothing. He still does lose a lot of those lives for nothing. I mean, I guess if Obi-Wan died then, I mean, it would have been harder. to win against the Empire, because Obi-Wan would have been there to look after Luke, I guess. But, like, they didn't know that. Like, Mace can't look into the future, okay? Mace can't do that, okay? Just let Obi-Wan die. I mean, Obi-Wan's a bitch anyway, okay? Yeah, it doesn't make any sense, but whatever, it's cool. Django dies. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. So, the lightsaber battle was, underwhelming, to say the most. Yeah, this is just so underwhelming. I think it looks like it's a really big lightsaber at this shot, but yeah, episode one Lightsaber Duel was absolutely amazing. I mean, like, there was Darth Maul with his double blade, and then there was Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan fighting him, and it was so cool. But in this one, it's just kind of, they do like 1v1s. And Obi-Wan goes at Dooku first, and then he gets kind of messed up, and then Anakin goes at Dooku, and then he gets messed up. Then Yoda and Dooku kind of go at each other, and then it kind of like ends. But like, there's an in the Anakin versus Dooku fight, there's like really weird close-ups. It's kind of weird. I mean, there's no music as well. Like, come on, why is there no music? I mean, it was such cool music in an episode one, lightsaber duel, in the episode one, lightsaber duel with Darth Maul, really good music, but there was no banter in that fight. There was a bit of banter in this fight, but nothing like too special. So this definitely all of the fights kind of fall to the bottom of the list, especially because Yoda definitely shouldn't be Yoda did definitely should not be using a lightsaber. I just don't really see how he should be using a lightsaber. Yoda should use the Force only, not a lightsaber. Okay, that's his character, I guess. No lightsaber for Yoda. He doesn't need a lightsaber. He's too powerful, okay? He's too much of a god. So in conclusion, this movie is definitely worse than episode one. I mean, just some of these movies, not enough in this movie kind of connects up really. Obi-Wan and Anakin's dynamic, nope. Anakin and Padme's romance, nope. Lightsaber duel, nope. Not as much Jar Jar, of course. We all need more Jar Jar in this movie. And a lot of things are obviously worse than episode one. But I think actually overall episode 2 is a little bit of a better score than episode 1, because other than Duel of the Fates, episode 1 doesn't really have that good of a start. Well, it has a good score, but like, it just doesn't have as much of a memorable score. Of course, other than Duel of the Fates. But this film has Across the Stars. Like, seriously, that's amazing. So anyway, in conclusion, I think this is definitely the worst movie. The worst out of the prequels. Not the worst Star Wars movie, because there's one movie that I think is actually worse than this one. I did rank the Star Wars movies like a few months ago, back when I started doing ranking videos. Actually, it's like half a year ago now. Jeez, that's a long time ago. My opinion has changed since then. I said that episode 2 is my least favorite Star Wars movie, but it is not. It's just the worst of the prequels. Yeah, anyway guys, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, smash that like button, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.